How difficult for young people to own their first house in Malaysia. Are property prices going up in 2022? KPKT teamed up with WargaBiz to interview some key industry players to share the prospect of the property industry.
Sebab kita pun nak kahwin kan. So memang plan nak beli rumah area Damansara ni lah. Tak adalah besar. Maybe dalam around 200 macam tu, 300 macam tu lah.
Bukan sebab tak nak plan, beli next year. Tapi I nak stabilkan I punya financial dulu. I target area Gombak. Price tu dalam 350. Price I tak kisah. As long as I ada first house, I okay je.
I'm not planning to buy a home because I'm just coming out to work just a few years only. Quite a huge number for me to buy a home nowadays.
Actually, apparently I just bought a home which I just put my down payment. Not buying as for the sake of like investment. For me, I just buy it for like because I also need a house to stay lah. So that's for my point lah.
Of course, the pandemic has affected the industry quite badly. We have further lockdowns in 2021. That has affected us quite seriously, especially the last few months. Apart from that, we also have faced a lot of other external challenges like increase in the input costs, like the raw material prices, and the other is actually the shortage of labour. And you know that our sector, the construction activities are quite dependent on foreign workers, which because of many of them who has gone back, and the government policy of not allowing new intake of workers, so that has caused additional problem as well.
Now, people have been emasculated. They can't work, their wages have reduced, and house prices have not reduced. So this will create a major challenge for the housing industry because as it stands, there is a lot of unsold stock.
In 2022, I believe that based on the recent survey that we did with our members, most of them will be focusing in the category of the affordable housing. And here is that we have two categories here. One category is below 500,000, the other is below 300,000. I think the prospect is very bright given that the government in the recent budget 2022 has announced some measures to assist them, especially those who are employed in the gig economy, where government has come up with a guarantee scheme of about 2 billion to help people who don't have a fixed income, meaning that their income varies, and also the issue of they don't have documentation to prove their income. And most of them in this category are actually first-time home buyers.
One should not look at whether one is young or old in terms of ownership. One should look whether you have sufficient funds in your bank to buy a house.
Those who have been in the working population, of 5 years and less, it will be better for them to rent first. But at the same time, they've got to do some savings in order to buy houses, And my advice is it would be better to go for secondary housing, because secondary housing you have many more in the market, and right now it's a buyer's market actually.
So the most important thing for young people is not to be heavily indebted just so you want to buy a house that's in good quality. So that is why we always believe that house prices must come down first, and therefore the young ones can buy decent housing at decent and reasonable price. I think the thing that could really help in terms of ensuring you can plan for your future is when the government comes out with the data on how many houses will come into the market in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, in 5 years' time, and the price range. Because this is something that the government has promised us from the Dasar Perumahan Negara, whereby they will come out with some integrated database where the general public can access, and you can see the range of houses and the price as well as the gross floor area of products that will be in the market soon. This will help in the young people, and even you and I, whoever who hasn't got a house yet and wants to buy, to plan for your financing so that you know these are the things that you can buy in future. What we don't want is when people do panic buying. They think if you don't buy now, or house prices will go up so bad that we can't even afford any house in the next 10 to 15 years. So I don't think this will happen because there's a lot of government intervention to ensure that we still have a significant portion of units that will be for the general population. And this is something we'll work together. We need an all of nation initiative to ensure that this will happen. Not just the government, but also people in the real estate industry, as well as the general public, who should be very aware of what they're getting themselves into when they are purchasing a house.